शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। निताई गौरांग जय, निताई गौरांग, निताई गौरांग जय, निताई गौरांग, निताई गौरांग जय, निताई गौरांग, निताई गौरांग जय। गौर हरि गौर 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 हरि। जय सचिनंदन गौर हरि। पतित पावन गौर हरि। शची मायर प्राण धन गौर हरि। गौर 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 हरि। मायापुर चंद्रोदय गौर हरि। नदिया विहारी गौर हरि। कलिमल हारी गौर हरि। जय पंच तत्व जय पंच तत्व पंच तत्व जय पंच तत्व। जय प्रह्लाद नृसिंह जय अनंत देव। प्रह्लाद नृसिंह जय अनंत देव। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव। सुभद्रा माई जय जय सुदर्शन। जय राधा माधव अष्ट सखी। गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव गुरुदेव। जय जय गुरुदेव। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताई गौर हरि बोल। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर सत कृष्ण कृपा मूर्ति अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहें जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन जी महाराज की जय। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। साकेत अयोध्यापुरी धाम की जय। गंगा मैया की जय। जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Let's start reading from chapter 3, which is titled as Karma Yoga. Yastvatmaraterev syad atmatriptascha manavah atmani eva cha santushtas tasya karyam na vidyate. Translation. But for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satisfied, for him there is no duty. Purport. A person who is fully Krishna conscious and is fully satisfied by his acts in Krishna consciousness no longer has any duty to perform. Due to his being Krishna conscious, all impiety within is instantly cleansed, an effect of many thousands of yajna performances. By such clearing of consciousness, one becomes fully confident of his eternal position. Apologies. Eternal position in relationship with the Supreme. His duty thus becomes self illuminated by the grace of the Lord. and therefore he no longer has any obligations to the Vedic injunctions. Such a Krishna conscious person is no longer interested in material activities and no longer takes pleasure in material arrangements like wine, women, and similar infatuations. नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो न कृतेनेह कश्चन न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चिद् अर्हत् कश्चिद् अर्थव्यपाश्रयः. A self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor has he any reason not to perform such work, nor has he any need to depend on any other living being. Purport: a self realized man is no longer obliged to perform any prescribed duty, save and except activities in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not inactivity either, as will be explained in the following verses. A Krishna conscious man does not take shelter of any person, man or demigod. Whatever he does in Krishna consciousness is sufficient in the discharge of his obligations. तस्मादसक्तः सततं कार्यं कर्म समाचर असक्तो है आचरन् कर्म परमाप्नोति पुरुषः. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty, for by working without attachment, one attains the Supreme. The Supreme, Mataji, we'll have to read the purport. Yeah, that's it. The Supreme is the personality of Godhead for the devotees and liberation for the impersonalist. A person, therefore, acting for Krishna or in Krishna consciousness under proper guidance and without attachment to the results of the work is certainly making progress towards the supreme goal of life. Arjun is told that he should fight in the battle of Kurukshetra for the interest of Krishna because Krishna wanted him to fight. To be a good man or a non violent man is a personal attachment, but to act on behalf of the Supreme is to act without attachment for the result. That's the perfect action of the highest degree recommended by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Vedic rituals like prescribed sacrifices are performed for purification of impious activities that were performed in the field of sense gratification. But action in Krishna consciousness is transcendental to the reactions of good or evil work. A Krishna conscious person has no attachment for the result but acts on behalf of Krishna alone. He engages in all kinds of activities but is completely non attached. Last verse. Oh, this is the fourth one. You have to read five. Okay. कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थिता जनकादयः लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि. Kings such as Janak attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. Kings like Janak were all self realized souls. Consequently, they had no obligation to perform the prescribed duties in the Vedas. Nonetheless, they performed all prescribed activities just to set examples for the people in general. Janak was the father of Sita and father in law of Lord Sri Ram. Being a great devotee of the Lord, he was transcendently situated. But because he was the king of Mithila, a subdivision of Bihar province in India, he had to teach his subjects how to perform prescribed duties. Lord Krishna and Arjun, the Lord's eternal friend, had no need to fight in the battle of Kurukshetra, but they fought to teach people in general that violence is also necessary in a situation where good arguments fail. Before the Battle of Kurukshetra, every effort was made to avoid the war, even by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the other party was determined to fight. So, for such a right cause, there is a necessity for fighting. Although one who is situated in Krishna consciousness may not have any interest in the world, he still works to teach the public how to live and how to act. Experienced persons in Krishna consciousness can act in such a way that others will follow, and this is explained in the following verse. Yad yadacharati shreshthas tad tad eva taro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokas tad anuvartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow, and whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Purport: people in general always require a leader who can teach the public by practical behavior. A leader cannot teach the public to stop smoking if he himself smokes. Lord Chaitanya said that a teacher should behave properly before he begins teaching. One who teaches in that way is called Acharya or the ideal teacher. Therefore, a teacher must follow the principles of Shastra to teach the common man. The teacher cannot manufacture rules against the principles of revealed scriptures. The revealed scriptures, like Manu Samhita and similar others, are considered the standard books to be followed by human society. Thus, the leader's teaching should be based on the principles of such standard Shastra. One who desires to improve himself must follow, excuse me, one who desires to improve himself must follow the standard rules as they are practiced by the great teachers. The Srimad Bhagavatam also affirms that one should follow in the footsteps of great devotees, and that is the way of progress on the path of spiritual realization. The king or the executive head of a state, the father, and the school teacher are all considered to be natural leaders of the innocent people in general. All such natural leaders have a great responsibility to their dependents. Therefore, they must be conversant with standard books of moral and spiritual codes. Mataji, is that it, or is there any purport pending? Okay, that done. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरून् श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So we will be covering these 5 verses today. Let us begin with the last 2 verses, particularly the concept of yat yat acharati shrestha. We will look at it in our practical day to day life, and then we will assimilate the learnings and move a step higher or a step up, so to say. This way, the complete session will be a gradual ascension, step by step, to understand what the Lord wishes to teach us in these 5 verses. Many years back, um, I think it was with Sanjay Dutt, and even before, to some extent, it was with Dharmendra, that a degraded society, or a society which is you know being run with proper moral conduct and code, it doesn't matter. Everyone will copy someone who they think is better than them. This has been the principle. So the 1970s and 80s, they saw a angry young man in Amitabh, and they saw a nicely quote unquote built Dharmendra, and then they saw Salman Khan. And how does it reflect? Then you saw that in every nook and corner of this country, whether people have proper houses to live or they don't, doesn't matter. But there was a gym in every corner in India. The V shaped body became the new standard. And why? Because the Shrestha in that society were doing that. Such is the craze that it kind of became a demand that in every movie at least once Salman Khan has to take his shirt off. And it's not just one, you know, it's not just true of one gender. Then there was those early 70s when sadhana cut hairstyle, because the leader, the Shrestha, is doing that. So everyone, tattad eva taro janah, which means common people, janah, janta, janah. So they follow. And then look around now. So who is Shrestha? So we say, okay, America is Shrestha. Mhm. And how does it manifest? Well, we can't think of anything else but a pair of jeans and t shirt, because Americans dress up like that. So we also dress up like them. They eat these things. So we also eat those things. And we copy them. And it goes on and on and on. For everything, whatever the Shrestha is doing, the leader is doing, others are following. Prabhupada brought the whole thing to the extent that a father is a leader, a guru is a leader, a political leader is a leader. So initially, when the child is born, the child copies the mother. The child copies the father's movements, literally. So when you see these people, then you should think of this verse, Yat Yat Acharati Shreshtha, is so deeply ingrained in us. Right or wrong, we are not discussing right now, devotees. Whether one should have a V-shaped body or a sadhana cut hairstyle or a pair of jeans and t-shirt or the food items, I'm not talking about the good or bad of it. I'm saying the principle is whatever your role model does, you want to do. That's the principle Krishna is highlighting. By this, what happens? So, when you read Bhagavad Gita and then you pause and then you start thinking, magic unfolds because you say, oh my God, like grass is green, sky is blue. Exactly like that, every statement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is absolutely true. Then there will be no doubt in your mind. Then at least you principally know that in this material world or anywhere else, this remains absolute truth, that whatever a great man does, common men follow. Good or bad doesn't matter. The principle is this. I want to hear from at least one of you, if you understood this part, that good or bad, whatever is done by a leader, others follow. If leaders are corrupt, then people take that liberty to go corrupt. And the standard sentences are, अरे सब करते हैं, सब खाते हैं, कौन नहीं खाता? You give yourself a license to do nonsense when you get a proof that the leader also does that. So, can one devotee, any one devotee, tell me if you have understood the principle that put it in our, multiple daily life scenarios, cutting across religions, genders, and activities, you will see that everyone follows someone else. Everyone follows somebody else's lifestyle. People who go to watch rock bands, they dress up like those rock band singers. They talk like them because for those people, they are the Shrestha. So, is this aspect clear? Is it understood properly? Can someone please respond if you have understood it?
Yes, Prabhu, it is understood. That is clear.
Radhana Mataji, you have something to ask?
Yes, Prabhuji. I just wanted to respond. Pranam, Prabhuji. I
Pranam.
wanted to say that yes, Prabhuji, the concept is clear.
Concept is clear. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, ma'am. So now, now that we have understood it, we are in a position to then go a step further. In this context, the leader like Janak, so he is a king. And what is the duty of a king? The duty of a king is not that he makes everyone a devotee of God instantly. That is not a devotee's duty. In the long run, yes, not instantly. A king must recognize that his subjects have specific desires to fulfill. And when these subjects do not feel satisfied, then they will degrade. So he must make sure that there is earth and there is calm based on dharma. That is the duty of a king. He must ensure that there is money and there is sex life on the basis of religion. The king himself may be unattached and should be unattached. So Maharaj Janak had no prescribed duty upon him. He did not have. What does that mean? No prescribed duty. If I desire family life, then I will have to marry. Once I marry, I have to go to the job. Why? Because to take care of me and my family, I'm dependent on the job. I had a desire. To fulfill the desire, there is an activity. And if I don't do that activity, then I fall down. The student has to study. The painter has to paint. The cricketer has to play cricket. The singer has to sing. Those are their prescribed duties. Without it, they can't. But a pure devotee wishes to do things when the Lord asks him to do something. Otherwise, he does not initiate action. Take many examples. Let's take as many so that it this concept, this second concept becomes even more clear. One example I gave is of marriage. No marriage, no responsibility, at least of others. You have reduced it to your own body maintenance. Second, the body is capable of taking care of itself with means of, say, one flat, maybe one room, one kitchen. Then you don't need to do anything additional. Years of work, no need. It reduces your scope of the prescribed duty itself reduces. Then you don't have any desire to defeat someone. So then no preparation needed. You don't want to become number one in this, number one in this, number one in this. No Ugra Karma will happen. When none of these activities will be performed, there won't be a reaction also. Because this person is only doing one activity, which is the bare minimum maintenance of body and soul. He only performs those activities. He does not perform other activities. When I don't eat kheer or ice cream or anything, I will not have the consequence of sugar. I won't. It's plain and simple. There's no getting away from that. When I'm not attached to any one person, why do I get blood pressure and why should I get heart attack? The body will wither due to the environment on its own. And even when it withers, sitting inside this body, I know that, like everything else around, there is a pattern that a thing or a person comes into existence, stays for some time, grows, dwindles, and then finishes. He knows this flow. So he remains situated. So no activity on him. Hi, ye kya ho gaya? Hi, wo doesn't work with him. Karyam karma karo tuva. He is not dependent on ordinary activities. Now, this person we are talking about, and then he is a person who is like Maharaj Janak, who has a wife also Naina, and she fully knows that my husband is self realized, and on top of it, he's God realized. So I need my husband does not need me. Hero, Janak Maharaj. These are spiritual heroes, not dependent on anything. But he knows that what he has, his citizens don't have it. His citizens require sex life. His citizens require family, emotional support, this support, that support, and then so many good things to eat, and so on and so forth. Now, there is no running away from those things for these people. Then the king must ensure that these activities are carried out religiously, not irreligiously. That means if you have to engage into sex life, then religiously engage in it by accepting grahast ashram. That's doing it religiously. So he would encourage, the king would encourage how? By the king himself marrying and then showing others how to live with the wife. He's setting an example. Yad yad acharati shrestha. So the only reason a pure devotee works is to set an example. Otherwise, there is no obligation upon him because he does not need anything. So when you use the adjective pure, at that time it is 100%. But then there are aspiring devotees, there are struggling devotees, there are situated devotees in terms of nishtha, and then there are devotees who are very, very highly interested in spiritual life, ruchi. All of these people also experience in lesser degrees the concept of Nishkaam Karma. I'll give you an example. There is no credit to me, but I have no desire to prove a point now to anyone that I am this, I am better than others, or I want to achieve this. It's not there in me. Maya is very strong. Tomorrow, if I don't perform my spiritual practices properly, I may fall down. But right now, no. Right now I am clear that I don't need to compete with anyone. And so there are so many things that I'm not obliged to do. I may go to a family function. I'm not obliged to go to a family function. Devotees are my family. And even there, the rules differ. So the point I'm saying is all of you as well who have been attending these classes, you all as well will gradually start feeling less requirement to perform prescribed activities, provided you have been chanting consistently and chanting nicely, offenselessly. Then automatically these things will occur to you as well, and to everyone who does that. So, this was the second point, that how a pure devotee doesn't have any obligation to do anything. He still does it to teach people in general, so that people don't take to the path of irreligion. But
Prabhuji, one doubt here.
yes,
But a king will have a prescribed duty to keep the kingdom orderly and all. Na? So why it is said that he does not have a prescribed duty, Maharaj Janak?
very nice. Personally speaking, Maharaj Janak doesn't want to be Maharaj. He doesn't want to be. The Lord accepts, the Lord wants him to act like a king. So he acts like one, which means he is acting on behalf of Krishna. He is not acting independently. I want to become the king, and then I become king. Now, this is Sakam Karma. Karma done with the desire of enjoying the fruit. Sakam Karma. Karma done with a single desire to please the Lord is Nishkaam Karma. There you don't have the desire. Yudhishthir Maharaj doesn't want a throne. Krishna wants it. Dhruv Maharaj doesn't need a throne. Krishna wants it. Prahlad Maharaj is made the king because Krishna wants it. Janak has been made the king because Krishna wants it. They act, Badri Vishal Prabhu, on behalf of the Lord. So then whatever they do, the Lord becomes responsible for that. They don't become. So when to keep the state in order, they have to keep a few people in prison. The king doesn't suffer the reactions personally because he is not doing it. He's doing it for someone. When you suppose cannot go to a marriage and you send Mataji as your representative, then she is the representative. She is doing it on your behalf. She has no personal interest in going in that marriage. This should be understood categorically, that a pure devotee acts on behalf of the Lord. And pure nahi, even the progressive ones, they also act on jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Amar ajna guru hoi taro ei desh. Lord Chaitanya said, wherever you see, whoever you see, talk about Krishna to them. Amar ajna, this is my instruction, Guru hoi, become spiritual masters, taro ei desh, and deliver this country. This is God's order. So we take it upon ourselves. So now we are doing it on His behalf. So then, during the discharge of these duties, if anything happens, good or bad, then I am not responsible. I will not be affected by that karma because I'm not doing it for myself. When you kill somebody for the sake of the country, then you don't go behind the bars. Rather, you are, hailed as a hero. Same logic. But if you do it inside your own country and hit people, you will be sent to jail. So, acting on behalf of government, acting on behalf of God, acting on behalf of someone else, the result doesn't go to you. Maharaj Janak, these are exceptionally brilliant people. They have no desire for their personal enjoyment. Their whole life is, tell us, Krishna, what will please you. And we will try our level best to do that. Even mixed devotees are glorious. Even the one who desires, he is not capable. Even he is glorious. Why do I use the word glorious again and again? Because very few people, Manushyanam Sahastreshu, 1 in 1,000, has a desire to understand the Lord. We are so rare. So rare. So even if you feel that I'm not qualified, that thinking, that humility is highly appreciable. You must have that kind of a mood, because you are now progressing, and sooner or later you will start doing things for Krishna. You will commit mistakes, ego will hijack you, but gradually you will do it. I'll give you an example, you will understand it better. Janmashtami is coming. You decide to celebrate it in DRDO, and one Mataji has a desire to dress up the Lord very nicely. The Lord must, he looks best, but the the dress, the shrangar should come out perfectly well. For the pleasure of parampara, for the pleasure of the Lord, and for the pleasure of the eyes of devotees, that particular Mataji is doing this service. So she started with the right note. Here, the thought, the feeling is bona fide, it's pure, it's not being done. You are not dressing up nicely. You want Krishna to look good. You want other people to feel inspired and feel more devoted towards Krishna. These are bona fide desires. And it so happens that on the day of Krishna Janmashtami, everyone appreciates the outfit. Everyone. And two people come and reject the outfit. Oh, this dress looks horrible. You did not realize, when did you get attached to the result of it, that you won't bother to see, oh, these people are saying something is wrong. Let me learn what is wrong. Next time I should try and serve Krishna with best capability. You will not think like that. You will feel hurt and insulted. Now you started with the right thought, you ended up with the wrong one. So sometimes our services are hijacked by our egos. I'm sorry, not sometimes, mostly. We learn in the classes, we go out to do the practical, the initial steps as taught by our teachers, we perform those activities properly. But towards the end, the titration that we were doing and the color that was supposed to come, that color doesn't come. And then the teacher comes and says, well, the temperature was not proper, the quantity of mixing was not proper, you were not holding the vessel properly. Next time you become more refined. Some color comes, but it is not that good, but it is better than before. So similarly, a devotee also learns that while I'm starting with a good, pure thought, it's not ending with a pure thought, it's ending with an impure thought. Every time somebody comes and hijacks, somebody means false ego comes and hijacks. Either, oh, everyone is appreciating, what an outfit, that was exceptional, it has never been done, and you are enjoying the garlanding being done to you by false ego. Krishna is out. Now on the crown, sorry, now on the throne, it's not Krishna anymore. It's your false ego which is sitting there. So the service attitude is gone. It's not, this was just an example. I'm not pinpointing. I'm just highlighting the difference when you act on behalf of Krishna and when you don't act on behalf of Krishna. When you think you are acting on behalf of the Lord and you are actually not. So never think that Maya is not there in the temple. She has been given the duty to be everywhere. Wherever the living entity is, Maya is. And she'll continue to do her work. Don't be under a mistaken notion that I'm in. मंदिर में कैसे हो जाता है? मंदिर में हो जाता है. It does not happen to those people who are situated. Everyone else, hospital, people who are taking right dosage on time, observing all rules and regulation, they will get cured and leave. Others will have to stay for a long time because they're committing some mistake somewhere, unknowingly or knowingly. So pure devotee acts on behalf of Krishna, no personal obligation. Then while discharging those duties, he does things which are not related to him because there is nothing that he wants. Nothing. What does that mean? Nothing material, nothing physical. He, of course, wants purification. He, of course, wants spiritual association, and he naturally wants to go back to Krishna. So none of his spiritual desires have gotten vanished. No, those spiritual desires are there. He's performing the chanting of the holy names for purificatory purposes. What does that mean? Purificatory. It means he knows that though his intelligence currently is right, that it should learn to become a devotee, but his samskar in his chitta are impure. So he has a right brain and a wrong mind. And he understands that the wrong mind first needs to be cleaned. Then I will be able to serve. So he starts the purificatory processes. Once he is purified, then he is on a raga nuga platform. A rag means intense love, which means then he doesn't need to serve Krishna out of rules and regulations. He doesn't need to get up and take bath and bow down and all of those things. But he still does that. To teach common people, he does that, but it's not necessary upon him to do it. He's way back, he became free from all of those things. Why? For example, in your own home, you know, your mother loves you a lot. So, but she is not formal with you. But if you misbehave with her, then she sometimes creates a distance and she forces you to act formally. She expects respect. Once she knows that you internally respect her, then she doesn't force anymore. Then she knows you respect her. Then you take liberties. You can call her some names sometimes, and she will just laugh it off. That's possible. Instantaneous affection is not governed by rules and regulations. But instantaneous affection is a result of years of regulated bhakti. Where Raga Nuga Bhakti is a product of Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti means the one which is done with Vidhi, Vidhan, rules and regulations. That's called Vaidhi Bhakti. Third and last point of the class. The first point was to help you understand that it's a universal principle. Whatever a great man performs or whatever a leader does, others follow. The second was, when the leader is pure and spiritual in nature, even then he performs his duties, which is not he is not desiring any personal motive. So if he doesn't do that, it's absolutely okay. But he does it for the sake of the Lord. And he does it to teach people in general. So Maharaj Janak and people like him, they lived like that. Last point, which all of you must understand very clearly. Everything is gradual in life, organic in life, and therefore even the path of bhakti must be understood as gradual and organic. Shanay Shanay is the term Krishna uses in Bhagavad Gita at a few places. Gradually. So at this juncture, you should just know that I am contaminated. And by the association of devotees, I have the right intellect and I am carrying a filthy mind. I repeat the most important statement of the class. I have got the right intelligence, but I have got the burden of a filthy mind. I am repeating third time. I have got the right intelligence. When you are associating with devotees, when you are hearing message of Bhagavad Gita, it's a right intelligence. But I am carrying a filthy mind. It will block my progress. The filth has to be washed off. Once right intelligence and clean mind is there, it's all glorious, wonderful. No, no restriction. Go ahead and do whatever you want to do and live the way you wish to live. Because what you wish to do is Krishna's desire. You only live to fulfill those desires. You don't live for yourself because you are pure at heart. Nothing material impresses you anymore. Dear devotees, I have words are falling short to explain this wonderful state of existence where a soul, baddha jeev, bounded, where a soul, brahmand brahmite konu bhagyavan jeev, that fortunate one, Guru Krishna Kripa Paye Bhakti Lata Beach, receives the seed of bhakti. And that seed of bhakti purifies. And that seed of bhakti, when it fructifies, it creates immense love of God. When that love overwhelms you, then impurities desert you, they leave you. When those impurities leave you, then you serve Krishna in the most peaceful manner. And that's the perfection of life. The love has to overwhelm. Then we cross our own boundaries. So initially, we should not leave our prescribed duties. Not initially. Once we are reasonably purified, a part of our prescribed duties, do not become bounding upon us. Binding is the right word, I'm sorry. What does that mean? A small thing. If I have chanted and I have served nicely, then some of my previous desires, like for example, I was very fond of, wine. I'm just giving you an example. And now I have come in contact with a devotee, or I have started reading Bhagavad Gita, and gradually not intelligence based, mercy based. Gradually, I have developed distaste for wine. I'm not dependent on for my happiness on wine anymore. Then the number of items will keep on decreasing. I'm not dependent on X, Y, Z to feel happy anymore. पोते को देखेंगे तो खुश होंगे, पत्नी को देखेंगे तो खुश होंगे. अब नहीं है. दिख जाए ठीक है, नहीं दिखे ठीक है. This stage will come. You can't pretend it. It has to come. It will come on the strength of devotion. So that's how you should understand these 5 verses of Nishkaam Karma. And if you can further meditate upon whatever has been discussed in the class, you will feel more clarity and more bliss. Thank you very much. We will assemble next week, and I'm expecting that you will come prepared after reading the next set of 5 verses, so that you can derive more benefit from the same exercise. Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. श्रील गुरु महाराज की जय. आप सभी भक्त वृंद की जय. निताई गौर सीतानाथ प्रेमानंद. हरि हरि. Thank you very much. I didn't take the questions because its time is already up. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dhanavad.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranams. Thank you so much.